Hello and welcome back to this Excel Academy by Atom42. Now, if you've seen some of the previous videos, we've shown you how to do things like texture columns, things like remove duplicates, things like make fun tables like you can see here. Today, we're going to talk about how you can do all of those things but faster. I'm sure you'll hear lots of people talk about keyboard shortcuts. Today I'm going to tell you a number of our favourites. Some of them are tricky, some of them are simple, but these are the ones that we use all the time. Now, it's not the easiest thing to show you, so I'm going to get the on-screen keyboard up here so you can see whether I'm pressing Control or any other key really. So I'm going to dive right in. The first thing is something you may probably have heard of. If you haven't, this is a real game changer. If I want to move from in the top left cell to the bottom, I could go like this, or I could scroll down and click. But when it's a large data set, it's much better to press Control and then the down key, and you'll go all the way to the bottom. Same if I went Control and then the right key, go up, and you can see it darting around the range. Similarly, if you wanted to highlight a range as you're going along, you could press Shift and maybe click, and it'll highlight what you select. Now, to combine those two, if you press Control and Shift and then start pressing some arrows, it moves all the way to the end and highlights. Now, to copy data, to create a table, to create graphs, this is really useful. Next one is a personal favourite. Often when you want to edit the contents of a cell, you either have to double click to get in, or maybe use this handy thing up top. To shortcut that, just press F2. Now you can't quite see that on my on-screen keyboard, but if you press F2, you just jump straight into editing. So you can put S2, F2, then home and go straight to the beginning and start typing. Cool. Next is one, if you are here, if you say you're in the top left and you wanted to go somewhere that's out of the range, you would press Control and G, and this brings up the go-to function, and you can type in any cell reference you want, and it takes you there, faster than moving your keyboard. Next one, this is when you want to filter data. Now, the slow way of doing this is going up to Data, Filter, and then it filters. However, you want to do this quickly, and I do this several times a day, so pressing Control, Shift, and L does that for you. All of these will be in the description below in case you're worried I'm going quite quickly. Now, the last two that I want to talk about are kind of the shortcuts to end all shortcuts, if that makes sense. They allow you to dynamically create shortcuts. So you might notice up in this top left corner of the screen where you guys might have a little save icon and an undo and redo button. These are quick access buttons. If I tap Alt, it brings up a number which corresponds to any of these functions. So you can see this top left one is Format Painter. So I can click here, Alt, 1, and Format Paint anything I want. Previously, you might have to go to Home, Format Paint, and do something similar. This is much faster. It's the same with a pivot table. That's what that function is there. Alt, 2, straight into a pivot table. Asking if I want to replace things. You can put anything you want there. For example, if you wanted to have, say if you wanted to have wrap text, because you regularly write text here, and you might notice that it spills over. So you might go wrap text, simply right click, add to quick access toolbar, and now it's there. And when I tap Alt, it assigns a number. And you can organise these as much as you want by just going to Customise, and you can move this up if you wanted that to be number 6 or number 7. This is very, very useful. I use this every day, and it makes me faster at my Excel. Finally, next, the final one is very dynamic. It means, you might have noticed when I pressed Alt there, other letters came up. F, H, N, P. These letters now assign dynamic shortcuts to any of these areas. So if I pressed Alt A, it takes me to data, and then there are more letters that come up that signify functions. So one that I use very often is Alt N for insert, then R is recommended chart. So Alt N R will insert a chart for me. And this data doesn't quite make sense on the chart, but if I were to maybe highlight annual income and age, just Alt N R, I'm straight in. Maybe another one might be A is for all data, so data. So if you tap A, and maybe we did a function we were doing earlier was the text to columns function. So if I tap Alt AE, that's the text to columns function. If I were to put a space in there, it will replace all my data. That's fine, just for this exercise. And same with, say, we were doing this earlier, Alt A, and E is text to columns, and I like to think of that as an E shape is a text going to columns, and M is remove duplicates, which is a mirror image of itself. So an M is a mirror image of itself. So M for mirror, M for remove duplicates. Tap M now, continue with the selection. It'll remove all the duplicates for me. This is doing what we were doing in previous videos, and if you haven't seen how to do a basic text to columns function or a basic remove duplicates function, then go back to our Excel playlist and you'll see some descriptions of those. This is how to do things considerably faster than anyone else, which means you'll get things done quicker, productivity goes up, and you can get to data faster, which is really at the centre of everything we do. If you have any questions, please feel free to email excel@atom42.co.uk. And more details down in the description below, including this worksheet if you want to have a play in here. Thanks very much.